Hi everyone. I just finished my rose beads and I wanted to show them off here while they dry. Let's see. Since summer is usually the quietest time for my Parfumerie and apothecary, I gave myself a project this summer, which was to make rose beads the old-fashioned way. So these are pulverized rose petals cooked into a mash with a fixative and a binding agent, dried, formed, strung. So they're drying right now and they will be shipping soon. The last ones that I made and the ones that are pictured on my website are actually black due to a chemical reaction that happens if you cook them in a cast iron pot. And I did that this time too, but I think that the vintage pot I bought, even though it didn't look like it, I think someone seasoned it at some point because the chemical reaction didn't happen. So these are the natural rose petal color that remains. They smell positively heavenly. It's all natural ingredients, organic rose petals, organic everything. And that includes organic rose water and organic rose oil. So they're very pure. And then you can anoint them if you need to in the future with more rose oil, if you use them as prayer beads and you keep them sacred. Um, yeah, they should last a long time as long as you don't get them wet. And they are fragile. I mean, I would be careful with them, but the more they dry, the harder they will become. So, I felt for a long time that a handmade apothecary such as mine really should have these rose beads in it, and I'm really glad to have finally made these. These here in my hand are sold. They'll be shipping out next week to my clients. Um, but there will be another batch or two, so they are still available if you care to order. And that was kind of my summer project for myself, for you, and hopefully they'll add a little beauty to your lives. And in the Parfumerie for summer, I picked my 5 lavender flower soliflor. Um, so because I liked that so much personally. So it's almost all lavender flowers of different varieties, kind of held up with an amber base. So that's in the apothecary if you care to sample that. And then we also have Virale, which is one of my oldie but goodie, much loved favorites. And that one was inspired by the 12th century French music and poetry of the troubadours. And I tried to use old-fashioned ingredients for that scent to give it a sort of um, medieval old-fashioned feeling. You know, that's one of my favorite time periods. And oh yes, and then we have 1001 Nights, which I suppose could be worn year round, but I usually think of it as a summer scent. There's something so lovely and summery about the ginger and the citrus and the patchouli on a sun-warmed skin. I just find it kind of a sensuous scent for summer. So that is in the shop as well for summer. And that's really it. I think as far as my news, I don't have a ton of news. I do have a brand new cat sleeping in my bedroom right now. Um, I think she still is a little shell-shocked and too shy for me to show her off. I'll have to save that for my autumn video, but I'm really excited to have adopted a new cat. Her name is Philomena, and she's 12, and she's a little rescue. She was in the care of her mother for her whole life, but her mother's having health challenges, so I I took over the care of her this past weekend. So that's new and exciting. Um, as far as the shop, I do still have some classes I'd like to work on for you guys, and I'm always asked, and I would like to get them up before autumn if I can. My schedule is just a little tight, but I do have several classes in the making, and I didn't forget. So you can see them at my website. If there's one in particular that you're wanting, you can always email me and let me know that you're wanting it, and then I'll record that one first. So I do have plans to tackle this sometime between now and August, which is when my fall collection comes out. So Slow Food and Slow Perfume is one of them. Plant Magic is another. And so they are in the works. I haven't forgotten, and they're coming. Um, let's see. Lastly, my love of myth and magic, symbolism, plant folklore, and all the rest also kind of carries over to my card reading. So if you are interested in getting a card reading, you can go to my site and read all about my methods and my background. I've been doing it for a very long time, since the very early 2000s. I have had some training and I've been doing it professionally here in LA for a while, and I'm really happy to get back to it. And so I also have Crow's Corner, which is my dedicated card readings channel. So you can check that out too. I try to do a reading every Sunday. I did put one up today, so that's up there now if you care to check that out. And I will be back. So if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, that is the best way to stay in touch with Arabesque Aromas and Arabesque Press developments. I am also working on my second short story book behind the scenes. So more about that will probably come out in the autumn. And I hope everyone has a really beautiful summer. And please check out the offerings in the Apothecary, the Parfumerie, and Arabesque Press. And I'll see you next season. Thank you so much. Bye bye.